Good morning and lovely to see you. And hopefully we shall see some of the others, but if not, whenever you pick this up, hope you're having a good time. Okay, let's start then, taking a comfortable seat. And do take a moment here to make sure that you're really giving yourself not just time, but space to arrive into your practice. So just a moment to come into your seat. You may just want to put a little bit of sway into the body from side to side. So a few moments to connect to the feeling of being in this body, arriving in this body. Then you can come back and into a neutral position. Now, if you imagine your spine were to be squashed down, just feel a sense for a moment of letting gravity take the spine. So you'll feel a bit of compaction between each of the vertebrae. So now, as we elongate, enjoy that sense of space opening through the body. We'll open up a bit more space through the neck by dropping the head towards the left shoulder. Now this right shoulder may want to lift up as you do that, so just relax it down. And a few yes and no nods through the skull. And then from your left shoulder, take a semicircle with the chin over towards the right. Okay, and just check in with that left shoulder. After a few moments of feeling the stretch on that outer edge of the neck, you can do a few yes and no nods on that side. Take the chin down to the throat now. And a few moments here to feel that stretch across the back of the neck, tops of shoulders, and letting the skull be heavy here. Then we'll take the chin skywards. Just be careful on the back of the neck. And here we'll start to circle the skull. So slow circles here through the chin. Really give yourself time here to allow the neck to open. When you've done a couple of rounds in one direction, we go back the other way. And arriving, chin up to the air, and then lowering the skull down so it's back in a neutral position. We'll shrug the shoulders up and around here. Couple of breaths. Let's open up a bit of space through the shoulder cavity. And then, arriving back in your seat, draw up through the spine and yet feel relaxed in your seat. We'll just open up the space of the body now with the breath. So we're deepening our breath now, and your out breath is a good place to start to do so. Breath in and out through the nose. And it sort of follows that if we can create space in the out breath, we're emptying the container of this body. And that means we've got more space to breathe into. Now letting yourself relax in the breath. So as you breathe in, make sure your shoulders don't rise up too much. So the movement of the breath comes from the belly, the lower belly. And that movement of the diaphragm up and releasing. Breathing in fully, breathing out. So we find the rhythm of your breath. And just enjoy this ebb and flow of breath within the body. The eyes may want to shut. And just noting how the body breathes. Note how each breath is slightly and subtly different. Note how the body is always adjusting and shifting. And note how your mind can change the colour and the flavour of the breath, can shape it, but yet your mind isn't doing the breathing, your body is. So how does it feel to trust your body to breathe? And give the mind permission to rest in the flow of breath. Relaxing into the breath, accepting the breath and the body as it is. We'll open the eyes again, the end of the next breath. We're going to start by bringing the legs out into a V shape here. We interlace the fingers together. And this is a soft fist, it's not a clenching fist. Now stirring the cauldron, we'll reach towards the left leg. Big circle across the front of the body. And we breathe our way around the back of that circle and over to the left side. So bringing your breath into this, we breathe in as we come around the back of this circle. And the out breath will see us stretching forwards. Now a slow pace in your circling. Just making sure that you're holding yourself present to the body. So easy to rush forwards. And almost rush away from feeling the body. Come back to the top of your circle. And then interlacing the fingers the opposite way. So the little finger will go up from where it was. You'll breathe out. Come across the front of your circle in the opposite direction. A bit like the wind outside in the trees. It's easy to often feel a little bit restless within the body. Often we're not even aware of that sensation, but we tend to race forwards. So for this morning, we're looking to reconnect mind to body. So it's a slow pace, steady pace of movement. Fingers coming down to the floor. And you can walk the hands forwards. Few rounds of breath in a soft forward fold here. And we're breathing to roll the spine back up and into your seat. So swing your legs around and behind you now to come onto all fours. And arriving in a neutral position, hands underneath shoulders, just checking that the feet, the legs, feet, and the knees are hips width apart from one another. And we'll tuck the sit bones under, and we're going to hold here in our cat, curving the spine up towards the ceiling for a couple of rounds of breath. And this will give you a bit of space to accentuate these lines. So pull the belly up, really curl up into the spine. See if you can relax into the skull a little bit more. Then releasing out of that, tip the sit bones skywards, arch towards the floor, draw the shoulders back, lift into the chest. And a few breaths here to stretch the spine the opposite direction. Finding an out breath and curling the sit bones under. We're now arching up towards the sky again. Holding there. And then breathing in to transition to cow. Sit bones are tilting up and the spine is curving downwards. Lift into the chest, reaching down to the hands. Allow a few moments to move from one to the other and find your own flow here. So just taking your time to create some more space through the body in your cat and cow. And from the next round of breath, we thread the needle. So left hand will come underneath the right arm. And you're down towards the left temple. You could put a block or a cushion underneath. Likewise, you might want to come up onto the right fingertip. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath here. And the next round of breath to transition back up to all fours. Plant the left hand, right hand will thread underneath the left. Arriving down on the right temple and up onto the fingertips of the left hand. And after the next full round of breath, left hand will come down and we're arriving back to all fours. So forwards and backwards movement now on your all fours. Take the spine as far forward as you like to. Likewise, draw back towards the heels as much as you'd like to. We're breathing to come forwards and we draw back to breathe out. And we'll take one more round here. Breathing in, coming forwards, and breathing out to arrive back into child, one big toe pad on top of the other, and sliding your knees apart from one another. We'll stretch out into a wide-legged child for a breath or so. Your forehead can rest on the floor lightly, or you might want to put a cushion down. And then, looking forward and finding an in-breath to slide forwards, legs will slide out behind you, hands underneath the shoulders. We'll breathe our way to cobra, all forwards, toes tucking under into down dog. Now, arriving in down dog here this morning, we're just a little bit of light pedaling through the legs and open up into the backs of the hamstrings. And then, once you've got to the next breath, we'll lift the heels high. And with the heels high, you can walk your hands back and towards your feet. And as your hands arrive near the feet, you can then root down the heels. The heels root down, we'll lift up the toes. We're still in a forward fold here. Toes are lifted. We'll then drop them down one by one. Lifting up the hands now and just positioning them wherever you feel comfortable. I'm going to bring mine round the backs of the legs. You might want to let the arms hang down or catch hold of the elbow points in your forward fold. And we'll draw the spine down. One more full round of breath. And looking down to the feet and then feeling the feet. The two separate actions, as it were, to look and then to feel. And to distinguish between the two, we now come up to rise. We breathe in, roll up, arms floating above the head. We come into a side body stretch here. As we come up with arms above the head, just adjust that. And so bring both arms round to the right hand side, really stretching out there. And then you can slowly come back round to the other side. And we'll come back to a central position with arms floating up now. Now, without looking down at your feet, find your feet. With that sensory perception, feel the contact of soles to earth. And as you breathe in, you can draw up and create a bit more space through the body with your arms lifted. And as you breathe out, let the body relax with gravity into that space. Still keep your energy lifting. So this is an energized relaxation. And we're drawing up energy through the spine, even as we relax. One more in-breath. And we breathe out to forward fold back down again. Catch hold of the elbow points here, this time in the forward fold. And you can draw down those elbow points
to deepen the stretch along the backs of the legs and through the spine. Deep out breath through the mouth. Letting go of the arms now and rolling back up. Arms will come back up above the head. We'll catch hold of one wrist and take that wrist out to the side of the body, swaying out into the opposite hips, another side body stretch. Come back, catch hold of the opposite wrist, take it out to the side of the body, hips push out to balance that side body stretch. And then opening your arms out into a T shape with the body. The thumbs will be facing up. Bend the knees a little bit so you're sinking down into your seat. Your arms are at 180 degrees here, belly to spine. And we'll swivel the arms around, a bit like you're orbiting on the spine, to come into a side twist. Now your knees will want to follow, as will the pelvis here. So we're looking to accentuate the twist at the waist rather than letting the pelvis and knees and legs follow. You may be able to rotate the skull to look out towards your right arm. Now we're going to orbit back round and to the left-hand side. So gently nudge your knees out to the right as you twist to the left. With your next breath, bring the left arm forwards and up into chair. So you can sink down a little bit lower in your chair here. You note then that the backs of the legs wake up a little bit more. So we'll breathe into that sensation for 2 full rounds of breath. And then a full out breath to forward fold again. And we'll bring hands up to the base of the spine. And then we'll smooth down the backs of the legs as we arrive into Uttanasana. Let the head hang, elbows out to the sides of the body. Another deep out breath through the mouth. We walk the hands forwards here, which will take us into down dog. So find your stance, but just look up at your fingers and make sure there's a bit of space between each of the fingers. May need to step the feet back a little bit to create a bit more space. And we'll roll forwards to find our way into high plank. Now do bring your knees down at any point that you would like to here in your high plank. One breath more. And then we'll all take knees down. Chest is in between the hands, so we'll lower the chest down towards the floor, arriving back on the belly. Lifting the hands, replacing them underneath the shoulders. Breathe into your cobra, all fours, and down dog. And we're coming to this down dog twist here, bending the right knee and looking underneath the right armpit. And then take your time to take that twist out to the left. Left knee bends, and we're looking underneath the left armpit. With both heels high again, we now look forwards and we walk the feet this time up towards the top of the mat, keeping your heels as high as you can. As you arrive in a forward fold, and then root down through the heels again. We'll take 3 rounds of breath in whatever version of forward fold you would like to. Note if your breath wants to quicken, and you can find space in the out-breath here. Keep that steady rhythm. Get ready to roll the spine up, breathing in, arms up above the head. We'll just pause there with the arms up. And as if you're picking fruit now, we'll reach up through one side of the body, bringing the fruit down to the shoulder. And then we'll reach up through the other side. The gaze straight ahead here. Note how as you stretch up one arm, you're lifting all the way through the body, all the way from the feet. Really enjoy this sense of elongation. From the shoulder, we now put the fruit down to the waist. So reaching down the side of the body to the waist. The arms will then cross the front of the body. And we breathe in to lift up, gathering the fruit one side and putting it in the basket on the other. The moment now to move from side to side and slowly bring your breath into the movement. So from thinking about maybe what you're doing, you can now feel your way into the body. And arrive fully. Be more present in body, in movement. Do one more round, both sides. And we're going to meet as the hands cross the body at the heart with the palms facing down. So your elbows are out to the sides here. Now soften into your knees a little bit again. And here we just bring the spine out a little bit more by coming into a twist from side to side. Now, as before, the twist is centered around the waist. You can slightly ease your knees to the opposite side to which you're twisting. And then, from side to side, and back to the center line. Now let's see with the hands, as we push down the hands a little bit, if we can sink a bit lower down into our seat. Gaze is still forwards. We'll open the arms out now to either side of the body, and then twisting out to the right hand side into your 180 degrees. We'll then take the back arm up and over as we twist to the left. The left arm comes up and over, and we twist to the right. So now just going to windmill the arms from side to side. This is like a continuous movement, like a windmill. We're transitioning through that big stretch of the arms. Just make sure your wind isn't getting too fast and blowing the arms too quickly. Keep slowing it down. And so your breath guiding the arm. We'll all meet one arm forward, and then you can bring the other arm, the back arm forward to join it. So softening the arms here into a kind of circular space. You can imagine there are beach balls underneath each armpit. So you're resting your arms on those beach balls. We've arrived in one of those classic standing positions, standing like a tree. Take the elbows down a little bit here. Draw up through the spine. And just a few breaths, few moments. See where we might be able to soften the mind. Soften our thoughts. Trusting the body. Giving the body full permission to express. And your energy circulating all the way out into the limbs, down to the toes, up from the toes, down the arms, the hands and fingers, up from hands, fingers, circulating up into the skull and back down. Another full round of breath here. We'll all breathe in. We'll take some of this energy down towards our feet. Forward folding again, into forward fold. I'll come back to the mat. And we're off of the spine here. We'll slide the hands up towards the knees and lengthen out through the spine. Breathe in fully there and breathe out to bring the hands down and step back into down dog. An in-breath to lift the right leg up. A big stretch through the right leg up towards the sky. We bend the left knee a little bit to stabilize the balance as we bend the right knee and take it towards the sky. Next breath, we swing the right knee up towards the hands and we step the right foot through between the hands. Left foot will plant down. Now, a moment to align your pelvis here. So left hip may need to come back a little bit. You'll bend the right knee so it's above the ankle and then take the arms off the floor. So breathing in, we arrive into warrior one. Anchor down into your feet in your warrior one. And then stretching up through the left hand to pick fruit, we'll take the fruit down to the opposite shoulder. So as we were doing before, stretching up through each side of the body. One hand reaches up, the other hand comes to the shoulder. Steadying your movement. And as your right hand reaches up, take your left hand down from the small of the back, down the back leg. And so we're reaching up into our reverse warrior. Big side body stretch here. Breathe out. Start to straighten the legs and bring your right hand to the top of the right thigh. Left hand to the left waist. We'll slide that right hand down the right leg towards the right foot. Then turning the body so it's angled out to the side. You may then want to release the left hand slywards. And we're arriving into triangle pose for 3 full rounds of breath. We'll windmill that left arm down. And we'll frame the front foot with the hands. Rotate the back foot and step back and into down dog. Adjust your feet and stance. And a full round of breath in your down dog. Breathing in, left leg will lift up. So once you've stretched it up towards the sky, you can bend that right knee a little bit to stabilize balance. Bend the left knee and take it up towards the sky. Your next round of breath will see the left knee coming up towards the hands, and we'll step the left foot through between them. Plant your back foot down. Now a breath or so again to just stabilize the base of the body here. Bring your right hip forwards, bend the left knee, so the knee's more or less above the ankle. And then you can root into your back foot, bring the hands up, and lift up into your warrior one. Breath or so to find balance here. And then looking forwards and picking fruit, bringing it down to your shoulder level. Steadying your pace. And steadying the pace, it will open up space. Left hand lifting up, and right hand can come to the small of the back and slide down the back of the thigh. Into your reverse warrior. And then bringing the left hand down to the top of the left thigh, we'll straighten up the left leg. Right hand can come to the hip. And we'll slide that left hand down towards the left ankle. Angle your body to the side of the mat. And then maybe release the right arm up to arrive into Trikonasana. Your next round of breath here. We'll take the right hand down and we'll sweep the body to the long edge of the mat, rotating in your left foot so both feet are parallel now. And we're facing the long edge of the mat. We breathe in and offer the spine forwards. Now anchor down the outside edges of the feet here. So you've got a bit of lift through the arches. And from there, we're forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Walk the hands back in a little bit. Before you come for the couple of breaths here in forward fold, you may want to offer your spine forwards again. Breathe in, lengthen through the spine, and then forward fold again. 2 rounds of breath there. With your next round of breath, we'll look forwards a little bit and we'll take the heels in. So toes are pointing out now to either sides. Start to lift up. Bring hands to the tops of the thighs. Now shrug out your shoulders here a couple of times. Open up the torso. We'll then breathe out and sink down a bit lower into our horse stance or goddess pose even. Now belly to spine here to really draw into the core. Turn towards your left side, even out over the left shoulder. Breathe out and we'll scoot the body low across to the right hand side. Keep sitting low. Breathe in and look over the right shoulder. Breathe out and scoot the body low to the left. So we're breathing in to lift and twist. We're breathing out to move across the front of the body. Let's take another couple of rounds. Keep a steady pace. And we're all arrived back and into our forward fold. So rotate your feet back so they're parallel again with one another. We come into a wide leg side twist. Right hand will be directly below the face. Left arm will lift up. And then we breathe out. Let's take the left hand down and the right arm will lift up. Breathing out. We come into one more round. You may want to stretch the right hand over to the left foot for this round, or else you can just bring it underneath the head. We'll switch sides, left hand to the floor or over to the right foot. And we arrive back into our forward fold. Offer the spine forwards in. You may want to heel toe out your feet a bit wider. Breathe out. And another few rounds of breath here in our wide-legged forward fold. You can walk the hands back a little bit here, making sure both elbow points are parallel with one another. And with your next round of breath, we lift up the spine and we walk the hands around to the top edge of the mat and we step that foot back to arrive into down dog. Now have 5 full rounds of breath in down dog. You may want to move in these, you may want to be in stillness. Just keep connecting the expression of your breath and the expression of the body. So there's no need to do very much here. We're just listening inwards. So our body may be moving, maybe being still. Seeing how each thing feels. Anchoring down into the hands, we breathe in and roll the spine forwards to arrive into our high plank. Lengthen out through the back of the neck. And we drop the knees down. Breathing out, we're arriving into child. Your breath deepen here in your child. See how much space you might find in the out-breath. And we breathe in to bring hands either side of the body to lift up and into kneeling. Swinging the legs around to the front of the mat now. The toes pointing upwards and breathing in will lift the arms up. Picking fruit from one side to the other with the arms. From reaching down to the shoulder, with the back of the hand facing close to the body, a bit like a waterfall, you can slide that arm down to the waist. And then as you reach up with that hand, the other hand, the back of the hand to the body, will slide down the body to the other side. We're all meet both arms floating up, looking forwards, straight ahead, and breathing out to let the spine float forwards, the arms coming to rest on the legs or towards the feet. We're breathing here, still looking forwards, and as we breathe in, we draw the shoulders back. Breathing out and forward folding. 5 full rounds of breath. Breathe in. Come back into your seat. And when we come down onto the mat here, the soles of the feet are going to be connected, the knees out to either side into lying down butterfly. We'll take the arms into cactus arms above the head, or you may want to rest them on the belly. And yourself, few rounds of breath here. For the next round of breath, bring the hands down to support the knees in and hug them towards the chest. A little bit of rocking from side to side. And then catching hold of catching around the back of the thighs, or maybe reaching out towards the outsides of the feet. Come into happy baby, knees to the sides of the body. Your arms can be a bit of a lever to ease the knees out, either side. Next round of breath. Support your legs to come back to the center line, up in the air. Arms can come down to the sides of the body. In a sort of version of Viparita Karani here. Nice resting asana. We'll bend the knees now down towards the chest. We'll plant the feet to the floor with the knees bent. Arms out, sides of the body. And then we're crossing left leg over right. Coming into a twist, knees dropping to the right. Your gaze towards the left arm. Bringing skull and knees back to your center line. We'll uncross the legs. Moment just to rebalance your pelvis. And then we'll bend right knee over left. Your gaze towards the right arm and the knees towards the left. Keep listening in to the body. Noting where we may react. Seeing if we can lean into sensation. Let it be present. We breathe in, come back to the center line and uncross the knees. And you rebalance the pelvis, which stretch the legs out in turn. And we'll slide the arms down to the sides of the body. Arms facing up. Take a moment to make any last minute adjustments to bring balance, harmony into the body. And the eyes can shut, allowing them to rest at the back of the socket. Letting gravity soften the body towards earth. Like to take a bit longer in your Shavasana, then do feel free to do so. Otherwise, start to become aware of the sounds around you, in the room and outside. And become aware of the contact of your body to the earth. Spaces in between and around you. And bringing a little movement into the body with thumbs running over the tops of fingers. Toes from side to side. And a little sway through the skull. But take a full body stretch here, breathing in to lift arms up and overhead. And then breathing out through the mouth as you bring them back down. In your own time, you start to now make a gentle transition
back up and into sitting again. We all meet, finding a comfortable seat, hands resting down in the lap, softening the shoulders, drawing up through the spine. We'll draw down the skies here. 3 circles to lift up the hands and breathing out, scanning down through the front of the body, the back of the body. Now energy settle inside us. We'll do that again. We draw the hands down, let the spine grow. Final round. We're breathing in and guiding our energy down to settle in the heart. We'll bring one palm on top of the other here at the heart, little bowl-like shape. Moment to offer into this bowl and to feel nourished by our breath. Then palms tilting in to rest on the heart space we're offered to ourselves. Gift of our care, our goodwill and kindness to self. And as our breath flows through the body, sharing that with ourselves, and hands into Anjali Mudra, into prayer at the heart. And here we breathe in and then breathe out, open the hands, share that goodwill out into the world and universe around us. And offering that out in front of us, then lowering the arms down. Two more rounds of breath. Be present. And here, eyes opening again, we close our practice together. Namaste.